Hello and welcome to Reboot Theater. I'm your host, the Invisible Man. Are you guys ready for a sci-fi historical drama about a superhero fighting a world war, going up against the evil Germans with the power of a god on their side? Then you will love Captain America! Oh, and Wonder Woman too. Yes, it's no secret Wonder Woman is popular. This movie was a smash hit at the box office and a surefire winner with critics and fans alike. And some would argue that it was the first really good movie of the DC Extended Universe. The first 3 films in this series took some risks, but they didn't exactly pay off, with a lot more fans making fun of them rather than enjoying them.
Save Martha!
Stop! Please, stop!
Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name!
Oh yeah, that became a meme.
Why did you say that name? Martha! Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name! Mother's name!
Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad all had one thing in common. They were dark and gritty, serious films with no time for any lighthearted humor. It was starting to become DC's style, and for that reason, I actually was in no hurry to see Wonder Woman. After the way the first 3 films turned out, I thought this would be just as dank and depressing, falling into the same pitfalls as the others. Eventually, though, I did see it, and I'm glad I did. I could say this is the best DC film since Nolan's Batman, but that is an understatement. This is one of the greatest superhero films of all time. For years, people have been trying to capture the lightning in a bottle that is a female-led superhero film, but none of them have even come close. Wonder Woman finally did it, and all we needed was a DC character in a Marvel script. Who knew? So let's jump right in. This is Captain Wonder. American Woman. Let's just get to it. The movie opens with Diana working in modern-day Paris as an artifact restorer for the Louvre, when she gets a message from Bruce Wayne. Apparently he wants to chat about a certain team they're putting together. Go Justice League! But before we get to that, we get a flashback to Diana's childhood in the utopian society of the Amazons.
The Mascara.
What was that?
The Mascara.
I'm just calling it Greece, because it looks like Greece and they have the same gods. Young Diana wishes to be a warrior like the other Amazons, but her mother is overprotective and doesn't want to put her daughter in harm's way. We now interrupt Wonder Woman to bring you Labyrinth. Really, guys? That was almost as bad as Dirty Dancing. Almost. So against her mother's wishes, Diana trains with her aunt in secret, learning how to fight. Wait, so she wants to become a warrior, but an authority figure says she's not fit to be one. Then a different authority figure gives her a chance. What does that sound like? Yep, get ready, folks. There's gonna be a lot of ripoffs in this movie. But one day, her mother discovers her secret training and forbids her to train anymore. The aunt urges her sister to reconsider, with the hopes that Diana could one day defeat Ares, the god of war, once and for all.
So Zeus left us a weapon, one powerful enough to kill a god.
Oh, and I bet the writers thought they were so clever with this plot twist. The god killer's not a weapon, it's a person. The most powerful Amazon of all, who will defeat Ares. Take a guess who it is. Yep. So young Diana finally begins her formal training, becoming incredibly kick-ass and strong, and even discovering a power she never knew she had. Wow, I'm an explosion of awesomeness! Diana then notices a plane falling out of the sky, with pilot Steve Trevor crash landing in the sea, and she dives in to save the man. Now, here's a refreshing change of pace. The man is the damsel in distress, and the female hero has to save him. And here's our first Easter egg of the movie, folks. A nod off to the Little Mermaid. You know what, I'm just gonna add a counter right now because trust me, there will be more. Unfortunately, it seems the Germans followed Steve there, which gives us our second Easter egg. The ship's name is Schwaben, which was a real-life ship that replaced the SMS Mars, which was the Roman name for Ares. Coincidence? I think not! The Amazons battle the Germans on horseback, leading to a very cool fight scene, as well as the death of Diana's aunt. And here's Easter egg number 3. Just as Peter Parker watched his uncle die, now Diana must watch her aunt die. Wow, we are really racking them up here! The rest of the Germans are killed, and Steve is interrogated with the lasso of truth. He states that he is a soldier fighting in the World War. After going undercover in a German camp, he discovers they are developing a poison gas so powerful that even gas masks are useless against it. The science division is led by General Ludendorff and his scientist cohort Dr. Poison, who I'm sure is in no way similar to Red Skull and Dr. Zola. Steve steals Dr. Poison's notebook, who immediately picks him out of the crowd even though it could have been anyone, and Steve steals a plane to escape. Steve blows up the facility, then crash lands on the Amazonian island. After hearing his story, Diana is convinced that Ares must be behind this war, and asks her mother to gather the Amazons to fight with the Allied powers. But the Queen doesn't want to deploy her forces to fight in someone else's war. How historically accurate! The US also observed a policy of isolationism until Germany attacked American ships, then the US entered the war.
I even asked them to send me with you. The Amazons.
The Amazons.
It is our sacred duty to defend the world.
Which explains why you stayed on an island your whole lives and have never defended anyone. What? So Diana takes matters into her own hands and borrows the lasso, a shield, and of course, the God Killer. She sails with Steve to go fight in the World War, and the two have an interesting conversation.
Have you never met a man before? But what about your father?
I had no father. My mother sculpted me from clay, and I was brought to life by Zeus.
Okay, this bitch is mental.
Well, that's neat.
But how interesting is it that she's the child of a god born to a virgin woman? Up next, we see some more of General Ludendorff, who is so evil he kills people for literally no reason.
Let's do an Iron Man, shall we?
He knows what is the last pudding, but he ate it anyway! Dr. Poison also makes Ludendorff some super pills that turn him into a super soldier.
I've got it. And if it's what I think, it's going to be
Cause for dramatic effect.
terrible.
But just when this movie's starting to look really promising and interesting... Oh no! They put the DC back into this Marvel movie! Oh no! But really, this time around, the drab, heavy color grading actually works to the film's advantage. Diana lived her whole life in a utopian society, so when she gets to a war-ridden country that's not doing so hot, the huge difference in landscape adds to the shock factor, and helps us realize how drastically different this world is compared to what she's used to.
Welcome to jolly old London.
It's hideous.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
DC in a nutshell. Then Diana gets a head and glasses, and suddenly she's unrecognizable. But the bad guys still recognize Steve, who decides the best place to go is down a dark alley. Seriously? Stay out in the open where people can see you! But at least we get yet another Easter egg. Wonder Woman saves her boy toy from a bullet. Now for some awesome action! Well, hello there, Rosie the Riveter. Then the last bad guy pops a cyanide pill before the hero can interrogate him.
He's dead.
Cyanide.
Perfect, they think I'm dead. Now maybe they won't notice my lips moving. And here's something really different. Most people would just punch the guy's lights out right here. But Wonder Woman actually talks to him and tries to help him. That's actually pretty new and different. Meanwhile, Dr. Poison has a new and improved version of the gas, which can even shatter glass! But wait, wouldn't that shatter the container itself? Ah well. Then Diana and Steve gather some reinforcements and head off to war. But not before an Easter egg taken directly from the comics.
Please, sir.
What do you think?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You should be very proud.
Thank you very much.
You should be very proud.
Then Ludendorff announces to his cohorts not to surrender just yet, because he has a weapon that will win the war for sure. But the other generals don't listen to him, so he decides they are the weakest links. Goodbye.
But the mask won't help.
They don't know that.
Ooh, you are evil! The next day, Diana arrives at the battlefront in No Man's Land. She sees the devastation the Germans have caused to the locals, and naturally wants to help.
Cannot leave without helping them. These people are dying. They've nothing to eat and in the village enslaved, she said.
I understand that.
Women,
we need
children.
to make our next position by
How
sundown.
can you say that? What is the matter with you?
Now, this is what makes Wonder Woman a true hero. To her, there are no shades of gray. Good and evil are binary. You can either do something, or you can do nothing. So to quote Mr. Robot,
Are you a 1 or a 0?
and you can guess what happens next.
So what? So we do nothing?
No, we are doing something. We can't save everyone in this war.
No. But it's what I'm going to do.
And with that moment comes the greatest thing in the movie. Not the slow-mo walk, not the awesome score, not the fact that her comic-accurate costume looks amazing, not even the fact that she shatters bullets and deflects bombs like they're made out of cardboard. It's the fact that from her actions, her willingness to stand up and fight for what's right inspires all of the other soldiers. By putting herself in the line of fire, Diana becomes a beacon of hope, a symbol of truth and justice, and she reminds everyone else exactly what they're fighting for. She's not standing up for what's right because she feels like she has to. She's not doing it to give the criminals a taste of their own medicine. She's just doing it because she's being the change she wants to see in the world. She's leading by example and helping those in need for the sole purpose of helping those in need. And from her actions, many others join in, causing a chain reaction of hope for a better world. This is majestic. This is what makes Wonder Woman a truly legendary film. And on an unrelated note, she carries a circular shield. And fights German Zack Snyder. Candy grab, motherfuckers! Come on, guys, how hard can it be to shoot her? She's got no armor on her legs, arms, or face! I surrender. Ah! You know, if Kimmy Schmidt became a superhero, this is exactly what she would be like.
Sniper!
Wait. A sniper with a clear shot actually missed? How? Oh, well, it doesn't matter, because Steve gets an idea from another Marvel movie. Whoa. That is brutal. Gal Gadot, like a boss. I gotta say, I sure wouldn't want to be the guy in that bell tower. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Help me! After freeing the town, Wonder Woman and friends pose for a photo, and Diana heads to the Germans' outpost, where they're having a party to celebrate the war they're about to win. Diana sneaks in to kill Ludendorff, and I love how this guy clearly sees the sword in her back, but says nothing. But Steve stops her because it will result in the deaths of countless innocents.
If you kill Ludendorff before we find the gas, we won't be able to stop anything.
I will stop Ares.
What if you're wrong? What if there is no Ares?
Really? Really? Just yesterday you saw her do this! But you still doubt she's the daughter of Zeus? You still don't believe Ares could be real? Come on, man! So Diana doesn't kill Ludendorff, which results in the deaths of countless innocents. The same thing Steve was trying to avoid. Really, man? What'd you think was gonna happen? To add insult to injury, the test fire was bombed on the exact same town Diana just freed from the Germans. Diana comes to the conclusion that only Ares could do something so cruel, and realizes that Ludendorff must be Ares. So she tracks him down to have one final battle with him. Oh no, he's turned into a White Walker! Just hope he doesn't have a dragon! Diana fights valiantly, and defeats Ludendorff by plunging the God Killer into his chest. But it surprises her when the Germans continue fighting, meaning Ludendorff was not actually Ares.
Stop fighting now. Why are they still fighting?
That's because maybe it's them. Maybe people aren't always good. Ares or no Ares.
Yeah, well, I think we all saw that one coming. Whenever they build up a huge villain like that, it's never the first person you think it is. It's always the last person you... Wait a minute. Wait a cotton picket minute here! It all makes sense now! Steve Trevor was Ares all along! He's been playing Diana like a fiddle this whole time! I mean, think about it. He just happens to crash land on an uncharted island? Or did he know that island was there because he knew where Zeus put it? And in doing so, he led the violent Germans to the Amazons who killed Diana's aunt, showing her how cruel humans can be. Now, it's true they used the lasso of truth to interrogate him. But if he's a god, isn't it possible he's immune to its power? Then in No Man's Land, he refused to help the people in need because he wanted the war to continue. But when Diana took matters into her own hands, he had to join the fight so she wouldn't get suspicious. And finally, when Diana tried to kill Ludendorff, he talked her out of it so Ludendorff could kill the entire town Diana saved, further making her lose faith in humanity. It all makes sense now! It makes perfect sense! Keep your friends close and your enemies closer! Oh, it's so brilliant! The seeds were sown throughout the entire movie! Now that's what I call a plot twist!
Who's there?
You were right, Diana. They don't deserve our help.
What?
You're him.
I am.
No. You had the perfect setup there! It was a brilliant setup! Chris Pine should have been Ares! That's good storytelling! But instead all we get is that weird British dude that got like 4 minutes of screen time? Seriously? Ugh. You know what? If I had to guess, the writers were probably planning to make Chris Pine the surprise villain, but then they got cold feet or whatever, so then they threw in this guy at the last minute. Really? The character with no development whatsoever. That's who you want to be your main villain? The god of war! The most powerful of all the gods, since he slaughtered them all single-handedly, is just an old man who we don't even know anything about? Really, guys? Ugh. But for what it's worth, Ares is a really interesting character. I'd even say he's kind of likable. Not Magneto-likable, but still. He makes some very valid points about how humans have abused the Earth over the years, and how his goal was to save his father's creation. That's actually very profound. Yeah, I'm not saying he's right. Expecting war to bring about peace usually doesn't end well. But in a weird way, he's a pretty likable villain. His motivations are clear, grounded in reality, and relatable.
With our powers combined, we could finally end all the pain, all the suffering, the destruction they bring. And we could return this world to the paradise it was before them.
But also more plot borrowing. Diana, of course, tells Ares, that she can't be a part of his plan. And she stabs him with the God Killer. Only to find out it was just a regular sword and she's up a creek without a paddle. Then the twist everyone saw coming in the first 10 minutes.
That is not the God Killer. You are.
Diana and Ares fight in a battle to the death, while Steve, who amazingly is not a supernatural deity, hijacks the German's plane, sacrifices himself to destroy the bombs, and forces his girlfriend to watch as he dies. Yeah, but just to be clear, this is an original script. Then Diana discovers her true strength and goes on an angry rampage, kicking the living shirt out of the Germans. Ares tries once again to convince her that humans are the enemy, but Diana remembers Steve's words.
It has to be me. It has to be me. I could save today. You could save the world.
Then Diana comes to terms with reality. Humans are fallible, and they did start the war of their own free will. But they are still worth saving because she believes the good in them can outshine the bad. So Diana becomes a crucifix, and destroys Ares with the lightning of her father Zeus. Oh yeah. Oh yeah! Gal Gadot! Like a boss! With Ares dead, the war ends, and we return to the present day, where Diana accepts Batman's offer to join the Justice League. The movie ends with Diana jumping off of a skyscraper, promising to continue protecting the innocent.
This is my mission now. Forever.
And that was Wonder Woman. Is it the masterpiece everyone says it is? Actually, yes. I can safely tell you this is one movie that definitely lives up to the hype. This movie is DC done right. Not since the Nolan Batman trilogy have I seen a DC film this well done. You had a bit of a dry spell there, guys, but I think Wonder Woman finally brought you back from the grave. And the reason this film worked when the other DCEUs didn't is because it's enjoyable. I get that bright and colorful is Marvel's style, and DC likes to make things a little more gritty in their movies. But here's why this film works. While the world around her is dark and gritty, Wonder Woman herself is a beacon of hope. Her pop of color on the canvas of gray really helps emphasize that. She never gives up hope, and because of her unbreakable determination, she inspires others not to give up hope. That's exactly what a hero should do. She should inspire you to be your best self. Also, the addition of comic relief kept the movie from becoming too serious. It reminds you that the film is gritty, but it's still meant to be fun.
I am taking you to the front. We are probably gonna die. This is a terrible idea.
Ooh, foreshadowing. The thing that makes this a truly great film is really a joint effort between the writing, the humor, the nod-offs to past films, the action choreography, the use of color, and of course, the cast. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. I cannot imagine anyone else doing this role as great as she did. And Chris Pine is a pretty good Steve Trevor. These two tear it up whenever they're on screen, and they do a great job of selling you on the chemistry the characters have. If Justice League is half as good as Wonder Woman, then I really look forward to seeing that next. I'm the Invisible Man, and... Wait a minute. Did they even call her Wonder Woman? Nobody in this whole movie even called her Wonder Woman! What the fuck?! Ah, well. We better get in the next movie, though. I'm the Invisible Man, and when DC finally does something right, I got it covered.